Me, my fans, I just remember something. I was listening to a radio conversation over the week, and they talk about free ride by your colleague to work. And I remember I started driving over 15 years ago, as in having access to my own personal car over 15 years ago. And I ever since then I make sure I give people a ride. I don't need to know you to give you a ride. And when I was single before I got married, I literally look out for a pregnant woman or a nursing mother carrying baby. I just want to give them a ride instead of them being stranded, because I just don't feel comfortable seeing a pregnant woman or a nursing mother having a small baby in her back be stranded at the bus stop. So normally I will pull over and I will say, you can join my car. I'm going to the island, or I'm going back to the mainland. And so so it just was just like that. But before then, and my reason was because when I was before I got a car, before I have access to my private car, I used to go on public transport. And then Lagos of those days was so good when I just got into Lagos. That's over 20 years ago. I used to go to work with my white uniform as a nurse. I'm a nurse by profession, by God's grace. So with my sparkling white uniform, just a little on my around my knee level, or a little above the knee. Lovely, as in there's nobody who sees the way I dress and you won't like to be a nurse then, but that's not the topic for discussion tonight. And so then, when Lagos was so good that I used to see downfall driver would pull over. When they pull over to pick passenger and there is nobody in their front, they will the conductor that should open the front door for me, and they put me in the front. And funny enough, they don't used to collect money from me. Say, no, leave, I don't collect money from her. And so they would take me to the office, to and fro. I remember then I think the first time I was traveling far to go to work was when I was working. I was living in Ajao Estate, and I was working at Alakpere, and later I was living in Alakpere, and I was working in Ikeja, GRA. And so, and I used to get free ride like that then. And later, then I moved to Ikoyi branch of the office where I was working on Ribadu Road. And I was also getting free ride by Danfo drivers. They just pull over. The driver will even use their clothes to bring a toy and wipe the seat. Majeko stain, no, don't let her get stain. And they will put me there in the front, and I never paid money. Except if the front seat is full, they'll create a space for me on the available seat and say, oh, sometimes they don't even like me going to the back seat. They say, no, create space for her. You see that she's wearing white, don't stay in there. And so now I will sit there. But when things became bad, when you get used to something of free, you get addicted to free things. So when Lagos became bad, when the devil visited Lagos stage where you don't get anything free from downfall driver. And so I'll quietly pull out. I wasn't used to this rushing thing. A vehicle just stop, everybody's just rushing, no rush hour now. And everybody in Nigeria resume the same time, close the same time. I don't know who formulates that law. So and I get to the bus stop, there's so much crowd, the vehicle come, everybody's just rushing to jump into the bus. I was never used to. And anytime I make attempt to jump into the bus, I get injured. It's either I injure my skin or my body, or my cloth gets kind of torn on my shoe. Something always happens, and so I never liked it. So because of that, when I get to the bus stop, I'll quietly move out of the crowd and then wait for a free ride. I was so lucky to be getting free ride to and fro, sometimes to and fro to work, and sometimes going, and then sometimes coming back, because I'm used to this free thing now. That kind of a thing. Free thing is sweet too. Not like now that things are really so bad. So when I get to Obalende in the evening and they just hike the transportation from 20 naira to 40 naira or 50 naira, I just quickly go on top of the Obalende bridge and I will get a bus. And even when I stop wearing uniform to work, because I have to change. I change from everybody. And I said, Mama nurse, I'm having headache. What can I take? So it was getting so much. I think after like my 2 years in Lagos, I stopped wearing uniform. And I realized that I was not falling into the fashion thing now, just dress nice, have different varieties of clothes in your wardrobe. You know, because you wear uniform, where you wearing those clothes to? It's only on Sunday. So I have to stop wearing uniform and go to the office on mufti. And that enabled me to able to change my wardrobe often, and as the case may be. So this were the reason why I was giving people free ride when I eventually have access to my own car. And I did this for over 15 years before I left Nigeria. And you know the funny part of it, then there's times I give these people ride. Initially it was people from not my office, because the time I got my office, the office I joined was just a new establishment. We were not that much, and they had accommodation for those people who are staying far. They can stay there and for the all through the weekend and day before going. And so I literally was giving other people ride, and by the following year, the company became large, and my car literally till I left Nigeria was as if it was a staff bus, Let me put it that way, like a staff car. I leave people in the morning and leave them in the evening. Closing time, you see people lining up, and I'm the one that go here first. I even remember when I was using Volvo C90, this 7-seater. Some person will say, "Oh, I will sit in the boot." It's as bad as that. I enjoy doing it. I don't feel bad doing it. But then, in those days when I used to join freight transportation, and with people who were regular person that were lifting me, as a regular family person that were lifting me, I try as much as possible to see what can I do for this person. If I give him money, he will not accept because he has money. Because there was this family man that was lifting me, was a bank manager. What can I give to him? Nothing. The family knows me, the wife and the children know me. We're family, we're friends. So, because I'm too scared for anybody to go and pour me acid. So if I'm close to any man, I would like to know him to his home, so that they know that I don't have anything with you. What I have with you is just friendship. It's not that we have anything. Maybe I'm cheating with the man, with his wife or anything. No. So I try as much as possible to make sure I know the family, know the man to his home. If it's possible, for that so close, I should know your wife, I should know your kids. So, and then when this other manager left Lagos, I was lucky again to get another person, this family man again, that was working in NNPC, and it was very nice Yoruba man, very, very easy to go, cool-headed, and we were friends as well. And so they were giving me right. And so when I look at these people, there's nothing I can offer them. How much is my salary? My pay slip of 30,000 naira. Okay, what can I offer them? As at that time, that kind of what I mean. So, but what I look out for the air fresheners in their car. They buy air freshener in their car. They buy this rose tissue, this bus tissue that they put in the car. And I look at, so these are the things I can afford, and I can easily just put it in the car without them rejecting it, or say, why are you doing that? Why are you spending money to do that? So those were my own little way of saying thank you and contributing to the effort they were making to give me free ride. But all my life of giving people free ride, I never got that. I get people who I will even now be waiting for, and they will be catwalking to get into my car. It was so bad. It was as bad as that. And then the day you get angry and you just zoom off, they team up to call you bad names, call you a lot of things, insult you. Nigeria is difficult people to live with. Seriously, if you ask me, mostly females. Females in Nigeria is difficult to live with. And then some of them and the painful part of it is that you are hungry, you feel like buying something to chew, or buy gala, or buy plantain chips, and the people in the car that you gave them free ride, they are also waiting for you to buy for them. It was so bad, as in, well, I gave you free ride, you're not paying for it, you didn't contribute nothing. If you give me money for fuel, the funny thing, I won't collect it. But at least you could buy tissue paper and the bus tissue. You can buy air freshener, put in the car. Those are the small things you can do. They never did. And there was even the painful part of it is that on one or two occasions where my car breaks down, these people quietly. So I'm in a rush. I need to catch up with something, and I'm left alone, and they're gone. Some doesn't even call me to find out how did you move. But I was so lucky. My late mechanic, Braluk mom, may you also rest in peace. I shed tears when I got to know about your death last year when I was in the UK. I really shed tears and I have to reach out to his family. Either it's raining, it's sunny, midnight or early morning, and I have any noise on my car, I will just pull over. I don't want to show whereby I get stranded. And look more will enter the road and come and come and have a look at my car, except if it's not in town, and it's hardly not in town. Funny enough, I was so lucky. Anytime I feel any noise in my car, look more will just come. So if I feel any sign that is not normal in my car, I will call on Lukman. Except that sign is something that just happened impromptu that didn't give me any signal, and then the car break down eventually, and I will have to wait for Lukman to get there. But these people will quietly leave me and go. Nobody will care how much you pay. There was even a time, the last experience I had, I don't know what happened to the car. The thing just got, the engine just turned off just as I was approaching them. What is it, Osborne traffic light, and I was just there. I was stranded. I was lucky. I got these good guys. Two of them, they came and they said, "Don't leave it here. The last man will come and tow you." And so they supported and pushed the car to where we get the mechanic after the traffic light in Osborne Road. You know the funny thing, I paid those guys, but the people who I conveyed in the car, not a single one of them could even say, "Oh, okay, can I offer you to pay those people?" I think I gave them for 500 naira. They were true. So I literally even have money on me, and I don't carry cash. You know, I try to avoid carrying cash because of robbery in Lagos Road. So I gave them the money that was with me, so which was just 500 naira, which I gave to them. When they left me and they left, they didn't even call to check on me. Oh, how did you go? Did everything went well? Except for one of the ladies that, oh, she waited a little while and then she left. Then she called. I think she later gave me, refunded the money that I gave to those guys. She just pushed it into my pocket and ran away. But what am I trying to say? There was even one that got me so upset. These people I gave a ride, you know the funny thing, when they now make it and have their own car, they don't even talk to me again. They become big boys and big girls. They don't talk to me. They raise shoulders at me, as in they look for every slight opportunity to tell me the story of my life. And as in, what are we dragging over? What are we fighting over for? I just don't understand. And there's this particular one again, a doctor that I was giving a ride to and everything. And you know the funny thing, when he was leaving the country, look at his office. He will get to my office before entering his own office, my own door entrance. This is my door. That's his door. As close as we were, he never mentioned to me that he was leaving the country. Of course, Priscilla was an no future ambition. She can never leave Nigeria or leave Nigeria. Maybe that was what they thought. Or not to them that God was just doing something at the background. And so this guy left the country. I didn't even get to know about it. He was pained though, but then that was one of those things. You know, it's one of those. That's life for you. And then when he was leaving, he introduced another lady doctor, another MO that just joined the organization. He introduced her and the spot where she can be joining me on the Dear Rabba. And then this lady started, in fact, gave her my number without even my consent. And then I was giving this girl a ride in the morning. She's the first person to be in my car. And then she never communicated. I didn't even know she was my church member. Because she never raised any conversation with me. I'm struggling on how to maneuver my way from a tight corner. She's not even watching for me. I needed somebody to talk to in the car. She will not talk to me. Man, as in God, am I carrying a ghost in the car? You are not there to watch a tight corner for me when I try to see if there's a way of escape, to move to somewhere, or somebody is trying to come and kind of hit me or bump on my car or something. You are not even doing any of that. You just mute in the car. And then when you get to the office, you quietly get down and walk into the office. And closing time, you grab your bag and you come and jump into my car. That was on for like over a week, over 4 weeks. I think they did it like over 3 weeks. And after then, I decided I wasn't going to carry her. So once I get to that, and I will get there, I will be waiting for her. Funny enough, I will get a Idi Araba, and I will be waiting for her. University of LUTH, University of Lagos Teaching Hospital. I'll be waiting for her. And when she comes, there's no remorse, there's nothing. And then the painful part is the fact that we don't even communicate while in my car. And so I decided I was not going to be giving her a ride again. And she called me that morning. And so I got there, I just zoomed off. And then she called and called. I made sure I didn't pick her car and call. Because I would just tell her that I don't want to carry you. So I have to demonstrate it in a way that if you call me, I didn't pick your call, and I didn't call you that I was waiting for you, I wasn't waiting for you. It simply means I don't want you in my car. Don't join my car. Then the Nigeria of today, just before I left Nigeria, a few weeks before I left, I have to sell my car because I really needed money to put together for a lot of things I needed to do, my flight and what have you. And 2 days when I became carless, when I didn't have means of mobility, first time in my life in Lagos State, I was robbed. My phone was stolen. Me that didn't even have money, then I was looking for money to travel. My phone was stolen. I have the company ATM card with me. I have my own ATM, everything. In fact, I was almost mad. I was at the middle of the road at Sandville on Lekki Road, and I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. There was another vehicle that was Hilo's vehicle that was driving past. I said, "Madam, what are you doing in the middle of the road?" Oh, I said, "Oh, middle of the road." He said, "You're in the middle of the road. You're asking me on the express road." I said, "Oh, I've just been robbed." And he said, "Oh, can you trace the car?" We traced the car almost to Ekpe. We didn't know we couldn't get the car. Policemen were on the road and everything. We talked to them. None of them could do anything. They just say, "Oh, that's what they do here." And that's why they are mounting the road. You are mounting the road sitting in the bus, in your car. And people are robbing on the highway, robbing passengers, in the pretense for one chance they call them. They just carry you. The next thing they rob you, they tell you, "We are not going again." They push you out of the vehicle and they will zoom off. And that was my case. And I think I went to office I think that period my husband's car was at the mechanic. That was why I went to the office on public transport, and the day I was robbed. And after then, I was so scared for the remaining days I have to be in Nigeria before coming to the UK. I didn't even have that flexibility of resources to think of taking a cab. It was quite expensive to book a cab from where I am in Yaba to get to the island. It's over 5,000, over 6,000 naira or 7,000 naira. I don't even know how much it will be now because it's rush hours. And how much will I pay again coming back? So I literally have to get my husband's car because I was coming before him. So I used my husband's car for the remaining 1 week that I needed to work before leaving the country. Do you also have this same experience that I have? And the funny part of it, these people that I gave this help to, some of them have really made this in life. But they don't even when I call, they feel like they are busy. They don't even pick my call. If they pick the call, you just like say whatever rubbish you want to say. And funny enough, I'm not calling them to ask for anything. I'm just calling to just check in on them because I'm a kind of person. I like to keep relationship. I like to maintain and sustain relationship. But you just call people to say, "Oh, I'm just checking on you. How are you doing?" They just don't want to have anything because you're not in their level. But when they were joining my kulube car, I was in their level. Now they have made it. And I keep wondering, like me, I don't forget people who, in one way or the other, they have made a positive impact in my life. It's something I will never in my entire life forget them for that. Never. For every little effort anybody contributed into my life, I try as much as possible to keep remembering those people, to reciprocate them, to keep that relationship, and always remember them and always pray for them. But these people, they don't even want to. I'm not begging them to relate with me, but then I'm just surprised. What is happening? Is that how people behave when you make it? You forget the people you cross the same bridge, you cross on the bridge with, or you parted the same road with when it was tough. Now that you have made it, you think they don't even belong to your class. You can't even call to just say hi. Or if they call you, you think their call is a burden to you. They are calling to ask you for anything. I don't know if you have this experience as well. Please drop your opinion in my comment section. Do well to respond. I want to know how many people. I remember before I left, when I took my husband's car, I made sure, I was so upset that I didn't carry. I think for the remaining 1 or 2 weeks that I worked before I left, I was literally don't want to give anybody a ride. I just rather drove off and go to Admiralty Road and stay there and carry passenger. Yes, I became a passenger, a passenger carrier. My husband was so scared. I hope you will not carry armed robber. I said, no, go. God will not let me carry armed robber. At least I will use that money to fuel the car and top up fuel. So for the remaining 2 weeks that I work, less than 2 weeks though, a week plus that I work when I took over my husband's car, I have to rather use my car to shadow passenger in the morning and in the evening, and gather that small money and top of fuel into my car. Please share your experience. If you also have this experience, do you think it's a nice thing that people who have helped you one way or the other, you should just boycott them, you should just ignore them, you should just, it's a normal thing to do? I don't even know what name to call it. I don't know the adjective to describe what I should call it. Do you think it's right? Is it okay that people should behave like that? Thank you, and drop your comment.